Today we're going to be making this cute DIY macrame rainbow. Stay tuned. But first, take a screenshot of today's project details. Now let's get started. First, I went ahead and taped the ends to prevent it from unraveling. We will be working with 3 strands at a time, so I like to tie it in a knot. That way when I tape it down, it holds better. And on a side note, we will be fraying our ends later on, so just be sure to leave about 6 inches before we start our first knot. Okay, so to start our first color, we need to find the center of our rope by folding it in half. And then we place our center loop behind our 3 cords. And then we create our first square knot. So you grab the left strand and you put it over top your 3 strings, and then the right side goes in behind and through the left loop. Now this is the first half of your square knot, so we want to repeat the same process but mirrored. So put the right strand over top of your 3 cords and then the left strand in through behind the loop. If I'm going too fast for you, no worries. You can always slow down this tutorial by clicking the 3 dots on the top right corner. Or feel free to check out my knot tutorial playlist. I'll link it in the cards above. Okay, so I'm tying my second square knot here, and we're going to be doing this all the way down to the bottom, but be sure to leave about 6 inches at the end. We will be fraying the cords at the bottom later on. Okay, so let's motor on. Alrighty, once you're done, put that aside and we're going to start our next color here. So just like before, find the center of your cord, put it behind your 3 strands, and tie your square knot. The number of square knots we need is kind of variable. It really depends on the thickness of the cord that you're using and your personal tension. My recommendation is to tie a few and then shape your work as you go along. If you have a few too many, you can always take them out. Okie dokie, and we're going to do the same thing with our last color. Shape all 3 colors together, and then once you're satisfied, we will be removing those top knots. To secure the loose ends, we're going to be weaving it up back through our work. You can use a tapestry needle for this, but I don't have one that's big enough, so I'm using some fishing line. And to be honest, I find it a little bit easier. I use fishing line all the time. It is really difficult to find a tapestry needle that fits 3mm cotton cord. Once you've gotten it through, we're going to snip it off and it looks almost seamless. And repeat the same process with the other ones. Now this part is crucial. We are going to hot glue them all together, but make sure that you're shaping it in the shape of your rainbow as you go along. If you just glue it down all willy-nilly, it is going to be in the shape of just a long rectangle and not a rainbow, so make sure that you're shaping it as you go along. I like to glue down a couple inches at a time and let that harden and then carry on. Oddly enough, hot glue is hot, so just take your time. Next, we're going to trim the ends. You can eyeball it, but if you want a perfectly straight line, I like to use painter's tape. You can leave it as long or short as you like, but mine is about 3 inches. Okay, so I'm just going to snip along the tape line. To unravel the ends, I find it's easiest to pull 1 strand out and then the other 2 just untwist really easily. I know it sounds a little silly, but when you unravel 3-strand rope like this, it saves a ton of time. Especially when you're making several of these or you have a really large project to unravel. And finally, I'm going to create a little loop here so that we can hang it. Tie a scrap piece of cord together and then put the loop through the top of your work and then just pull it through. These macrame rainbows are super fun to make and kids love them. They also look cute in a nursery. If you'd like to see more macrame tutorials like this one, I hope you consider subscribing. Also, here are 2 more videos I think you'll enjoy. I'll see you over there.